On this day, when we bring our pledges to 4th Street, making our financial commitments to our faith community for the coming year, we may be able to glean a few more insights from the 1 Corinthians passage we considered 5 weeks ago when the fall stewardship theme was announced, and discover a few key components of healthy congregations perhaps along the way. When it comes to pledging our financial resources and making other commitments for our faith communities, I think many of us sometimes wonder if our giving is important at all. Whether we are talking about money or the many other ways we share what we have with the community, it's easy to fall into the thinking, we can't give enough to really matter. Or money and spiritual life are two separate things, and our decisions about money have nothing to do with our spiritual lives. Or the world, or the city, or whatever, are so complicated and complex and in such a mess at this point, nothing we can possibly do will help anyway. Paul appears to be saying that no matter what you think, one central piece of weekly Christian worship is the expectation of generous giving by everyone, regardless of social status or financial means. The saints, according to Paul, are expected to come to worship, prepared to share some of their resources every time they gather to worship. The spiritual and the material are very much connected. Every member of the community is expected to participate in this aspect of the worshiping life of the community, everyone giving in proportion to individual income and available resources. And each gift is valued and necessary, not just because financial resources are needed, but because it is an expectation of membership, a way of being part of the community, really belonging to the whole community, actively sharing the community's life and work. And because giving actually benefits the giver, opening ways for us to grow as persons, to grow spiritually. Giving generously provides us with one way we can live out the image of the divine within us, partnering with God to extend gracious generosity throughout the world given into our care. Active participation in gracious generosity expected by every member belonging to the community tracks with the emergent church, where involvement and belonging, sharing and a sense of community, experiential participation rather than passive observation are paramount. Another thing I notice in this passage is intentional purpose in the giving. Now, by this I do not mean designated giving where the gift can only be used in certain ways. What I mean is the giving is with conscious intent. It has purpose, an objective, a goal of extending God's blessing to the world. Grounded on a clear awareness and the ongoing experience of God's blessing in our lives, we make choices to extend these blessings beyond our lives, beyond our particular communities and congregations, giving to people and causes beyond ourselves. And we give out of love. Love we have received and continue to receive, the love within us to be shared and expanded. Resources collected at the Corinthian church are going to Jerusalem for ministry beyond the doors of their own community, becoming tangible expressions of divine love in the world, expanding God's grace in ways that make a real difference in the lives of others. This purposeful giving also tracks with the emergent church and with generations who distrust giving money to some abstract, nebulous cause, perhaps never knowing what happens to their resources. These are people who want to make a difference in the world, who will give time and money and energy and ideas and skills to see results improving people's lives and transforming the communities in which they live.